Good afternoon, everybody. I have a Bible study for you guys. I was working on Genesis day 4 of creation. God instructed me to do a Bible study on the 7 bowl judgments. There are 21 judgments in all. It first starts with seals, like a wax seal on a scroll. There's 7 of those. Then it goes to 7 trumpets. And then the last are the 7 bowls or vials. This is going to be a lot to talk about, so I'm probably going to have to do more than one video. So look for those videos. That's going to be on Revelation chapter 15 and Revelation chapter 16. And just a little bit of information before I get into it. This was a vision that God had given to the Apostle John when he was in exile at Patmos. It was an island there. So this is a vision that he had about the last days. Excuse me, my voice. Okay, so verse 1, chapter 15, verse 1. Then I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues, for in them the wrath of God is complete. Verse 2. And I saw something like a sea of glass, mingled with fire, and those who have victory over the beast, over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, standing on the sea of glass, having harps of God. So the sea of glass is talked about in Revelation chapter 4, verse 6, and that says, before the throne, which is in heaven, there was a sea of glass like crystal. Over his image is mentioned in Revelation chapter 13, verses 14 and 15, and that says, and he, the false prophet, deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, who is the Antichrist, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. And I'll just put it out there. I actually believe the image of the beast is going to be like an AI robot. But whoever does not worship the image of the beast will be put to death and killed. It's just a personal thing that I believe. I believe it's going to be an AI robot, the image of the beast. It's not biblical, so don't quote me on that. But that's just what I personally believe. The number of the beast's name is referred to in Revelation chapter 13, verses 17, and it says, and that no one may buy or sell except who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this is the mark of the beast. And basically that's going to be in your forehead or on your hand. And you're not going to be able to buy food. You're not going to be able to buy anything or sell anything without this mark. Okay, so back to Revelation 15, verses 3. They sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are your works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are your ways, O King of the saints. Who shall not fear you, O Lord, and glorify your name? For you alone are holy. Nations shall come and worship before you, for your judgments have been manifested. These are the people who had victory over the beast, standing on the sea of glass with harps, singing this song. I looked up the Song of Moses, and that is a reference to Exodus chapter 15, verses 1 through 18. It's actual song of Moses. in which Israel celebrated its deliverance from Egyptian bondage. They sang this after they were set free. The song of the Lamb that's mentioned, it echoes the song of Moses. The song of the Lamb is a song of deliverance and salvation that only those who have been redeemed can sing. And that was the words in the song that they just sang. The Song of the Lamb talks about the redeeming works of Jesus, which mirrors God's deliverance of the Israelites in their evacuation from Egypt in Exodus 12, verses 31, and that goes all the way through chapter 14, verse 30. The phrase all nations is the same phrase found in Matthew 28:19, which says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all the nations." So after comparing the Song of Moses and the Song of the Lamb, I noticed that the 10 plagues of Egypt mirrors the 7 bowl judgments, but they differ in scope and severity. There are only 7 bowl judgments. There were 10 plagues in Egypt, so they don't all coalesce, but they do actually mirror. The bowl judgments are far more severe and widespread, affecting the entire world. We'll go back to Revelation 15, verse 5. After these things I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of testimony in heaven was opened. And out of the temple came the 7 angels, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure bright linen, and having their chests girded with golden bands. Then one of the 4 living creatures gave to the 7 angels 7 bowls full of the wrath of God, who lives forever and ever. The temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no one was able to enter the temple until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were completed. So in verse 5, when it says the temple, it's actually talking about the sanctuary or the inner shrine. So during my research, I discovered that there are actually 2 tabernacles of testimonies. One is the tabernacle that Moses built, and that is in Exodus chapter 38, verse 21. The second tabernacle of testimony is the original one in heaven. God gave Moses the instructions to build the tabernacle while they were wandering the desert. The definition for tabernacle is a fixed or movable habitation. And in the case of the one in Exodus that Moses built, that was a movable one because they were traveling the desert. So they built it with like blankets and sheets and that, so they could move it. In verse 7, the 4 living creatures that are talked about, they are in Revelation chapter 4, verses 6 through 8. And that says, "And in the midst of the throne and around the throne, there were 4 living creatures, full of eyes in front and in back. The first living creature was like a lion, the second living creature like a calf, the third living creature had a face like a man, and the fourth living creature was like a flying eagle. The 4 living creatures, each having 6 wings, were full of eyes around and within." So I don't think I could really give you more of a description than that. So I'll just go to the definitions. Bowl in Greek is viale, and that means bowl, vial, or a broad, shallow cup. The bowls are the last of God's wrath poured out during the tribulation. And like I said, there are 21 in total. There's 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, and the 7 bowls. The 7 bowls are poured out rapidly, indicating uncompromised justice. The same vessel, the golden bowls, carries both incense, which is prayers of the saints, and wrath. And this highlights a moral symmetry which is prayers ascending and judgments descending. So go to